I'm joined now by Dr. Emmanuel Navon, International Relations Lecturer at Tel Aviv University and Fellow at the Jerusalem Institute for Strategy and Security. Emmanuel, thanks for being with us. Let's talk about the significance of a visit like this. 15 years, and this is the first Israeli foreign minister to actually be in Japan. What are the goals for this visit from Gideon Saar?
Well, the goals really are to rebuild the economic relations between Japan and Israel. Japan is a major economic power. And of course, after the Yom Kippur War and the oil embargo, Japan was very sensitive to the pressure from the Arab countries and took its distances from Israel, taking part in the de facto boycott of many Israeli companies. And it took many, many years for Japan to finally win itself from its energy dependence on the Middle East. And in recent years, Japan has been investing a lot of money in Israeli technology because it understands that at the end of the day, its growth depends on technological innovation. It has an aging population, and that's why it's taken a lot of interest in Israeli technology. But this needs to be encouraged. The Japanese understand that Israel has a lot of added value and technological edge, but you need to really be proactive, and this is why this visit is so important, to remind Japan of the value of the Israeli economy and Israeli technology for its long-term economic growth. And so I think the timing is very important.
Well, also the fact that Japan is a member of the G7. This is a major benefit for Israel when you talk about that economic partnership, and so the type of sway that Japan even has being a member of G7 is huge partnership for Israel.
Absolutely. As I said, a major economic power. And therefore, the fact that Israel has a lot to offer to this great economy, which is always, as I said, its technological edge. But you have to be proactive. And Japan, of course, is under the pressure of many other countries. But I think that it's not only Israeli technology. It's also the fact that, you know, in today's world, you basically have a major clash between the democratic world and the autocracies. Japan belongs to the free countries, to the democracies. It is threatened, feel threatened definitely by China, by North Korea. And we need Japan on our side when it comes to votes at the UN, in international fora. You reminded us of Japan's belonging to the G7. I think it's important for Israel not only to market its technological innovation and edge, but also the fact that Israel is a democracy that fully belongs to this struggle of the free world against the attempt by major autocracies such as China and Russia to undermine the US-led order.
And this timing of this visit also works pretty well in your favor. The Japanese translation of your book, The Star and the Scepter, A Diplomatic History of Israel, it is now coming out in Japanese. And so when you talk about shaping that narrative, we see a prime example of that right here.
Yeah, so I'm very glad of the timing because, of course, I mean, the book has been translated to many languages. But why is Japan important? Because, and I've discussed it with my colleagues at Tokyo University, where I will be presenting the book in a couple of months. Japanese public opinion is very pacifistic, but also very uninformed about Israel. Basically, as far as they're concerned, you know, because of the experience of World War II, they're very anti-war, therefore, you know, peace and international organizations, and they really need to understand that Israel is not the country that is looking for war. We're fighting a war because it was imposed upon us. And if you really want peace in our region, in the Middle East, you need to defeat the ideologies that want to destroy democracy and freedom. And this is really the message I'm trying to convey in Japan also via this book, is that first of all, the history of Israel does not start in 1948. We are a very ancient nation, just like the Japanese. And we do share the Japanese aspiration for peace and security. But the way to achieve this in the Middle East is not by preaching and not by relying on the United Nations.
And now they have a prime example of that. Dr. Emmanuel Navon, thank you for joining us as always.